Howdy, yeah. Today is June 8th. It is the first farmer's market. I'm super excited, a little tired, but it's gonna be a fun day. The farmer's market was a success. It was great, just atmosphere, seeing some familiar faces from last year as well as some new faces, just talking with everybody, catching up. Overall, just a great time. I didn't quite sell out of everything. I brought just the perfect amount where it wasn't too much and not too little, so I was very happy with that. Also, I did get some cool little things. One is this jar of honey from, where was this, Arizona. So I'm super excited to try this to see what honey tastes like out there, because it's just completely different from Indiana. So thank you to the folks that brought that by. I'm super excited to try that out. I'm gonna grab me a spoonful actually before I do chores. Also, I was given an aloe plant for all my mini sunburns. Luckily I haven't gotten burnt too bad this year, but anyways, thank you everyone. I'm looking forward to the farmers markets. This was the first one, and this one goes through September. And then the second one that I'm doing starts up next week on Thursdays. So I'm really excited to get that one going too. But anyways, right now I'm just kind of slowly unloading, unpacking things, and then we'll hop on chores. All right, let's try this honey out. Oh, it smells so good. It doesn't smell like my honey. It's definitely already different. That is crazy. I mean, it's honey, but it's more, I don't know, citrusy tasting. That is really neat. Oh, I'm about to drop some. That was really good. Thank you. Chicken's down here wanting some. They did perfect. Nice and easy. You know, I could go ahead and get this pearl white, sneak up on her real quick, and put her in a coop. There's no rooster with the speckled Sussex, so it'd be perfect. I just didn't want a rooster bothering her. But I think she does a pretty good job of keeping them off herself. So we'll see if I can grab her here. I'll have to put you guys down though. I'll check on her here in a little bit, make sure they're not harassing her too hard. There's gonna be a little bit of pecking order going on. So as long as she gets up top, those marins are really mean. But she can get around, and it's not like that leg's gonna get any better, so it would be nice if I can just keep her out here. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on with chores, moving to new grass. That'll kind of distract them for a little while too. Another thing I love about the farmers markets while I'm thinking about it is that you guys, the customers, drill me as far as questions on how things are raised and what products are used and things like that. I did have someone come up and ask how we controlled bugs as far as them eating leaves and stuff in the garden. And I told him that my mom uses neem oil, which is, this is what we use right here. And she said she'd heard of it, but was interested specifically the type that we used because she'd been looking at them and doing a lot of her own research and just a lot of good stuff. So anyways, it always gives me stuff to think about as well. But I love all the questions and just hearing what you guys like out of a product and how it's grown, and that you guys care about how it's grown, because that's important to me as well. I didn't sell my massive marigolds, but man, they look good up here. So everybody was commenting and they just couldn't believe how big these things were. And I didn't expect it either. Nothing on the package said anything about it. I thought they'd be, you know, a foot tall, not 3 feet tall, but they're beautiful. They've got a ton of blooms on them, and they're about to start going crazy, so I'm looking forward to all the pops of color. This is already pretty. And since I don't have any chickens running around up by the barn anymore, I'm gonna go ahead and put some mulch back on here. We'll see if it lasts. I do plan on having some chickens running around because it is kind of nice having some lawn ornaments. But for now, might as well use up the rest of this mulch and make it look pretty up here. I held back my oldest catnip because it has started to flower and bees absolutely love this stuff. So I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find a good spot for it. The best part about growing flowers is that if they don't sell, I can plant them and the bees can use it. While I'm out walking around looking for a place to plant that catnip, I haven't looked at this garden in days. Haven't watered it, haven't touched it, haven't done anything. Oh, look at that. We've got a tomato starting to turn. Can't get a good view on it. You can kind of see it down in there. Awesome. I'm excited for that. So at least we did get one little rain a couple days ago. That probably helped some things. Ooh, this one really needs some help. But most all of them are looking really good. That one got big real quick. This one's a nice big healthy looking plant. I haven't sprayed or done anything with these. I'm just kind of letting nature do its thing. I don't mind if the bugs eat them a little bit. Everything's got to eat as long as they don't kill my stuff or stunt it too terrible. But overall, everything looks good. I forgot to bring these green onions to the farmer's market. I was going to, but I don't really know how to best transport them without them getting wilty. Carrots are looking good. It's amazing. I think these were planted in February or March. It was really early. Same with my onions. And we got so much rain. I thought for sure they were washed out, but everything's doing good in there. So anyways, over here we got some eggplant. We've got a lot of flowers going on these. Check some out. So my mom has been doing these. They're looking really nice. Got tons and tons of peppers. I think this is a Zulu pepper. I don't know, but that one's done. So tons of bell peppers, sweet peppers, banana peppers, probably some spicy peppers in there. I don't know. She's got all sorts of peppers. Getting a little yellow, but they'll do just fine. Have yet to plant this row or this row. Check on the cucumbers. Looks like they're doing good. We got some blooms going. So things are good. Hopefully I've got some seeds coming up. I planted the zucchini. I don't think I've watered it once. Oh, but look at that. We do have one coming up. So that's good. At least nature's kind of taking care of that for me because I've been so busy with other farm stuff going on. Cucumbers, I haven't done anything with these either. I planted them from seed. But it looks like we've got a few coming up, so that's good. If I get around to it, I may replant a few of those because that's been a little while. There's just so much to do and zero time to get it all done. My to-do list is a mile long for today and it is not gonna happen. Peppers, looking good. We've got a little bud going on there. Those are the jalapenos. These are the tomatoes I was gonna sell at the farmer's market, but they got too big, planted them too early. These things are looking great. Looking really good, actually. Over here, we've got some beans and peas. My dad planted these. We're gonna do a trellis. Look at that. They're already starting to grab on. So that'll be pretty cool. Get these arches all filled up. It'll look pretty. Haven't looked at strawberries in a minute, but I do see some in there. They've slowed up a lot, which has actually been kind of nice. But of course now I have people that want strawberries. That's how it works. Horseradish, doing good. That I may need to wait one more year on that until it spreads a little bit more. This whole row here is going to be more tomatoes. I can't tell you what. I know we have some mortgage lifters in this row, as well as, oh, probably something striped if I had to guess. I'm not exactly sure. My mom has a bunch of heirlooms and really neat varieties of tomatoes, so that's always exciting to experiment with. But anyways, I better get to it and look for a spot for this catnip. And I still haven't planted these rows yet either, so we still have a ton of work to do. I'd really like to get in the beehives today. Looks like we've got some ants moving in now. I did check just a minute ago this top feeder I put on. It looks like just ants found it, so the bees weren't interested. They need some water, so I'll get them some water, but I do want to crack that open today as well to see how they're doing, but this colony's just been struggling. I got a ton more eggs washed, so that's a good feeling. So I'm replenished for the next farmer's market, because last year that was what was clogging me up, is just washing eggs the day of. So this year I'm trying to make it easier on myself and pre-wash them just as they come in. And man, it was so much smoother just grabbing eggs from the fridge last night and then taking off to the farmer's market. So much easier. So I've got everything restocked, which is a good feeling. So ready for the next farmer's market. Other than that, I was gonna water everything, but it looks like we're gonna have a little pop-up move through about midnight, so I don't think I'm gonna. So I think I'm gonna call it a day, go home and work on the YouTube video. Howdy y'all, today is June 9th. This barn is trashed, so I'm gonna clean it up today. It's been a ridiculous, crazy past few days, so really need to get this cleaned up. That way it's easier to work in here. What are you doing in there, chicken? You're hanging out? It's a good spot for a dust bath. Over here, I haven't done chores yet, so I was gonna get that done. But I started hearing some of the roosters crowing. This one's definitely a rooster. And that bull-fed chicken, where is it? Right there. She's fitting in just fine with everybody else, so that's good. Same size, but a few weeks older. These Cornish cross did great the other day on their first move, so let's hope we keep that momentum going. That swarm I caught, that queen is a rock star. She is knocking it out. They look fantastic in there. I'm just sitting out here relaxing, enjoying this beautiful evening, and it's still, I cannot believe this is mine. It's just such an awesome feeling. Just, that's amazing. On a slightly different note, I cannot believe how few predators are out here. It's really just a few hawks that I see flying around, but as far as ground predators, I've not ever seen much. I've seen one raccoon since I've been here. That is it. In the 2 years I've been here, if something dies and I put it out there, it just stays out there for a long while. Eventually something will come get it. I did see that one chewed up dead raccoon. What was that? My dad found it a month ago. So I guess I've seen 2 raccoons then. Only one living one. So I don't know. There's just not much out here. There was that random sighting of a bobcat about a year before I got the property. So maybe that bobcat's just doing a number on all the nighttime predators, and that's why there's not much out here. Never seen a bobcat, but it was in the field to the south of me, so I don't know. I just find that interesting. Howdy y'all, today is June 10th. It is actually cold out. There's a light breeze, it's overcast. It's kind of chilly. It's in the 60s right now. I'm supposed to get up to 75 or so, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And then we may have a record low for this time of year. Tonight we're getting down to 47 degrees. Crazy. My tomato plants, a lot of the garden just is not gonna like that. But it is what it is at this point. The Brussels sprouts, the broccoli, all the cold weather stuff will enjoy it, but yeah, a lot of it won't. So anyways, just got chores done. The chickens are selling really fast. Just had someone stop by and pick up a couple. Right before I started recording this video, I just saw another text of somebody wanting to come by and get 2 more chickens, so they're gonna go really fast, which is good. I didn't order a lot of birds because I didn't know what the demand would look like, but looks like demand's there, so I may go ahead and order another batch of birds because I was only planning on doing about 100 this year, so we'll see. So far so good. And we've got more tomatoes starting to turn. I cannot wait to eat these. These are not going to the farmer's market. The first few are definitely for my enjoyment. This week it looks like we will have peppers at the farmer's market though, so that's super cool. These little guys are getting spunkier. They get all the way on the top of the roost to roost at night now. It looks like Boofhead is still a little bit of a loner, but I see her mingling with everybody just fine, so she's good. Anyways, let me get these guys taken care of. Gave them some broccoli the other day, and they chewed that up. They loved it. It's pretty neat seeing all the colors of the birds. You can tell that white one on the left standing there is between a pearl white and a buff, so that's pretty neat. You can tell we got some speckled Sussex in there for sure. A lot of Americana, buff Orpington. Definitely a little Sussex right there. Super cool. They're all so beautiful. I really love this one coming up here. That one, the golden one. You can't see her too well, but she's a cross between an Americana and a buff Orpington. She's really pretty. All of them are just so pretty. That chicken right there is a direct offspring from whitetail. So it's part Americana, part Sussex, but half whitetail. Just got done weed eating the ditch. Tons of poison ivy up there, and it's kind of hit my face, so let's hope all's good on that. But I'm gonna pull out the tiller now, till up a couple rows, and then that way my mom can keep going on planting tomatoes. Howdy y'all, today is June 11th. I'm gonna crack open the beehives today, see what they're all looking like. I did get in the hives really briefly yesterday, and I did put a honey super on the top here, and I took 1 frame of eggs and larvae capped over brood and stuck it in this tiny little hive over here just to keep their population up while they're working on a queen. So there's a few bees flying in and out, but it's still tiny. Still waiting on that queen to come back and start laying. But I do want to get in here and pop in a nice frame instead of a blank frame that I put in there. And then I want to check on this hive and see if we have anything filled up here and see how they're doing up here. The bees are already loving their new honey super. They're packed in there really tightly all throughout. So right now they're just cleaning everything up and polishing it so that way they can start packing it in. These frames were all drawn out, which is really nice. So after they kind of clean it up a little bit, they can just start throwing nectar in there and turning it into honey. I took that blank frame out. It's pretty much blank. The other side doesn't have anything on it. And I'm going to replace it with this, which is all drawn out front and back. So the bees are going to love that. And at this hive, this is the swarm that I caught. The queen in here is fantastic, and the population is about to explode. There were about 3 frames, front and back, completely full of capped over broods. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop on a honey super for them because they're ready for it anyway. And these frames haven't been drawn out, meaning the bees haven't built out the honeycomb on it yet, just comb in general. So these are, I can't remember, I bought these last year. It's either double or triple coated wax. So hopefully that'll help get the bees jump started on building out this template. But it'll take them a little longer to start making some honey just because it's not drawn out. But either way, pop it on, that way they can get to work. Quick and simple, and now I think we're up to 4 honey supers that are on hives, which is great. But unfortunately, as soon as I popped that cover, a bee popped out and sucker punched me and stung me right on my leg. So, oh well, that's the first sting of the year. Actually, kind of the second sting of the year. The very first one was when I got those packages and I was just scooping bees up with my hand. It was so cold out, they weren't moving much, but I must have pinched one a little bit. But that one really didn't do anything. Whew, this one on my leg is still burning. I went to grab a single bag of dirt, nothing else, but I ended up with a couple plants, which were super dry, so I'm getting them watered really quick. And I also ended up with 2 pear trees and 2 apple trees. So yeah, that bag of dirt turned into a lot more. But I was really excited about the trees because I have been wanting some more trees. I don't know if I'm gonna put them alongside the garden or out back. Eventually there will be cows out back, so I don't know if I want fruit trees out there with them. But the fruit trees are great for the bees. I think it might make more sense to put them up front by the garden. I don't know, I have to think on a little bit. I was able to get 1 in the car. The other 3 are still there. I'll pick them up later today. But anyways, I'm super excited about that. While things are getting watered, I'm gonna check on this beehive out here to see how they're doing. I'm gonna take off that feeder because they're not using it. It's just ant food at this point, and see if they're doing anything in there. But so far this year I've been pretty disappointed in their progress, but at least they have a queen, which they didn't have to start off with, so they've just been struggling. You can see just how tiny they are. They really just only cover a couple frames. No bees down in here, just the middle. Howdy y'all. Today is June 12th and I'm gonna pick my very first red tomato here. Ooh, it looks good. I cannot wait to eat this. Got a few more starting to ripen in there too. I have a spot kind of planned for these trees. I'm gonna go mark it out and see what it looks like. But basically, it's kind of that curve before you get into all that tall grass is where I'm thinking. It's not quite to the back of the property. It's not quite that close to the garden, no, either. Because fruit trees can get a little messy. So it keeps it out in the pasture. I'll have to fence it off. Probably to keep the cows away from it whenever I do get cows. But seems like a good spot. It won't shade the garden from out here either. They get about 20 to 30 feet tall, I believe. So that should give me enough space away from the garden so we don't get much shade from that. So I'm gonna map it out a little bit and see if it works out all right. You can't see them too well, but I like them out there. They'll look nice. Looks like one blew over. So far I've got one planted. Filling up some water, gonna run it out. Have some wooden stakes here. Gonna tie them up with this to make sure the wind doesn't mess with them too much. I might do 2 today, or I might just do that one. We'll see. It is gonna be a really hot, toasty week. It's about 10 days in the 90s, no rain. So my dad's out here watering some of the trees. All right, I've got both apple trees planted, so that's a good feeling. I think I need to straighten that one up just a little bit more. And then tomorrow I will get to the pear trees. Howdy y'all, today is June 13th. I'm starting the morning off in the kitchen, baking some bread for the farmer's market. So this is the egg bread. Just came out of the oven, letting it cool. Got a bit of a train going. Over here, these have to sit and wait to rise for about an hour. Then I punch it down, divide it, put it into bread pans where they sit for another half hour. Then they finally go in the oven. There's a few in the oven right now. Then I pop them out and let them cool. All right, y'all, heading out to my new farmer's market this year. I've been to this one in the past. It was really tiny. It's been reworked, new management, and it's pretty nice now. So I'm excited to be a part of it this year. This one's the heat of the day, though. It starts at 5 and ends at 8, so it's gonna be a little toasty. So we'll be setting up. It's just about 4 o'clock right now. All right, y'all, the second farmer's market is done, and it was hot. It's finally starting to cool off now. It's about 8:30, so I'm heading back to the farm, gonna unload. This market was definitely slower than my other market. I also think I don't have a customer base here yet, so it'll probably take several weeks. But yeah, it was just really slow, so let's hope it picks up. But anyways, out at the farm, after I put everything away, I do want to see if I can get the other 2 trees planted, 2 pear trees. It looks like I still have plenty of light. We'll see how it goes. I was booking it, but I got both of those pear trees planted, which is a great feeling. They really need another stake each. I was out of wood posts and I didn't want to have to make them because I'm battling a storm and also no light. So I did use 1 T-post. I also hate being that one neighbor that makes noises at 9:45 at night. I don't really have that many neighbors, so it's not a big deal, but still. Anyways, I'm really glad they're planted. I'm gonna get everything a splash of water. We are gonna get some rain tonight, which is much needed, so I'm looking forward to that. I still have yet to do much unloading, so I'll get that done next. Howdy y'all, today is June 14th. Got a lot of sunshine. We did have a really nice storm blow through here last night, which was great. Everything got watered really well. The garden's looking good. I love seeing those trees over there. I need to stake them a little better. If I have time today, I'll get around to that. I'm about to work on chores and get the chickens at least out of the way. This morning I did 12 loaves of bread for the farmer's market tomorrow. It's always these speckled Sussex get so loud. But yeah, we'll get these guys all done, taken care of, and start working on some other things. These 2 chicks are just going at it. That one is being really mean. Looks like he drew some blood on that one, so I don't know what's up. This nasty thing. Get away from her. Go. You're a little beat up, aren't you? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and isolate this one because chickens love the color red, and she's got a little cut now, or he, I should say. So that's a bummer. It looked like there's another chicken in there that had kind of been beat up in the same spot. So it's not actively bleeding or anything. It's healed. But if I find that bird, it looks like a young rooster, is starting to pick on everybody, I'm gonna weed him out and he can grow up separate. I stood there and watched him for a little while to see if I could find if anyone's being a little overly aggressive. And this guy's got an attitude problem. He is bothering everybody. So I'm going to separate him for a few days, reintroduce him. He won't be going in as head honcho, so hopefully that'll kind of rework the pecking order and knock him down a few notches. When I was watching, he was attacking them if they would even just get close to him, walking by, minding their own business. So he's in timeout. Anyways, I'm loading up for the farmer's market right now. The chick that had the scratch on it earlier, I ran it back out to the coop. I just wanted that initial bright red to dry and it looks fine. It was just a minor scratch. I just didn't want it to get any worse. So she's back out there. Bully's gonna hang out here for still a few more days.